If you are one of those people that maybe you've noticed in your relationship that every now and then, like, things are great, then there's issues, things are great, then there's issues, whether it's lasting a week of greatness and then having issues, or a month, or whatever it is, then this video is for you. So firstly, just to share, and I'll put the link in the description, where I learnt this information from, and it was from one of my favorite books on relationships, and that is Conscious Loving. And so what happens is, have you ever noticed in your relationship that things are okay, things are great, and then your partner starts to irritate you? Might start off mildly. It can be like really simple things as well, things that you're not usually bothered about or always bothered about. So, you know, like I said, you could be a day or a week or a month or 6 months, and then you start to get a little bit irked by them. And this seems to be a familiar pattern. Well, this is very normal. So firstly, don't worry. But in the book, what it explains, it says it's about our upper limits. And basically what our upper limits are is, so for example, we all in childhood might have had a period in our home where things were great, and then there's disruption or upset or upheaval or anything that's just like not the normal balance. And so with every family home, that could be a different amount of time. And what happens is we get used to that. That becomes our normal. So then what happens is we unconsciously like take on these patterns, not really realizing. And so then the thing is with humans is we love familiarity. And that is because in familiarity, we feel safe because we know what's coming. And so if you've taken, or what happens is when you take on these patterns, so let's just say, for example, just to make it a little bit more concrete, if you were in a household where things were great, and then once a month, there was like upset, disruption, you know, so your mum always would seem to get angry or upset or whatever, or your parents would then end up arguing or whatever it was. Then what happens, say, when you go into relationships, you'll have a great period, things are really good, you know, you're having a good time. And then when you start getting close to that month of what you're used to, then the body switches into like, oh, okay, this is starting to feel a little bit unfamiliar. And with feeling unfamiliar, I don't feel safe. So what can happen is then we unconsciously, which is so crazy, to keep it familiar, even though it's not great and doesn't feel good, then unconsciously the body will then start to trigger us. So our partners start to irritate us. And we might start pick at these little things and like unconsciously create an argument, thinking, no, it's because they've done this and they've done that. But it's got nothing to do with them. It's got everything to do with you and your upper limits. And so if you can recognize that in yourself, then like, well done. Like literally half the battle is that awareness and understanding. And so what the key is when you start to realize like, oh shoot, yeah, this does seem to happen. So the way to undo this is when you get close to your upper limits, regardless of what the amount of time is, you will know you're getting close to it because your partner will start to irritate you, or you might feel that you need a little bit of space, or you just don't want to be around them as much. Okay. And what you need to do is you need to listen. So when you get to the point of having an argument, when you get to the point of start like picking at your partner, when you get to the point of like stomping off in the mood, you've gone too far. And so what you do is when you start to realize you're reaching these upper limits, you actually say, oh, okay, do you know what? I can acknowledge and feel that I'm starting to feel this within my body, a little bit of irritation, a little bit of this. I'm going to go for a walk, or I think I'm going to need to have the night to myself. And if you've got hopefully an understanding partner, they won't take it personally. and take it as a rejection, and they'll understand. I mean, if you talk about it and listen to the book together, then you're both going to be on the same page and in the same book. So that will be a really, really great and healthy way for you to deal with it, because then you both understand. But that is one of the best ways to basically start pushing your upper limits like further and further, so that you can have longer extended periods of time that are great between you and your partner without having arguments. But I will put the link in the description to the book in case anybody's interested. And as I said, this is my number one best favourite book for relationships. And if you've listened to any of my other videos, you know that I've listened to a lot of books, like close to 200 books at the moment. And so this is my number one for relationships. I think I've listened to this book about 3 times, definitely 3 times. Every time taking lots and lots and lots of notes. So this particular part of the book, I can 100% vouch for. And you don't know unless you try. And if you're watching this video, it's because you're ready for this message. So action, action, action. Don't just listen, do it and improve your life. Anyway, much love and blessings. Take care. Bye.